welcome back. There are some X factors in the big election, the big battle for Bihar. Anti-incumbency, of course, it's the almost leitmotif of elections here in India. But Nitish Kumar, he's been Chief Minister for the last 20 years, almost uninterrupted, other than that brief interim with Jitin Ram Manjhi. So he's on the ticket. It's going to be a test of Nitish Kumar and whether he can withstand 20 years of anti-incumbency and get another 5-year term. So that's going to be the number one X factor. Women voters. And we saw this last election. It's the women who saved the day for the NDA in phases 2 and 3. Will they change the balance of power? This is a constituency that Nitish Kumar has cultivated over the last 20 years. The Mahagathbandhan is also wooing them with 30,000 rupees for Jivika Didis, etc. Then there is the SIR, and we've talked about this. The opposition made this into the biggest issue before the election dates got announced, all through August and September, through the Voter Adhikar Yatra, but then suddenly no one's talking about SIR. And then the NDA has put the spotlight on what they call the Jungle Raj. Everyone from the Prime Minister downwards has talked about, the bad old days of the 1990s. But the MGB is trying to sort of turn that on its head with the arrest of this JDU candidate, Anand Singh. He's behind bars, the rising crime graph in the last few months in Patna City. Will it stick, though, on Nitish Kumar and the JDU? We'll see. And lastly, the great unknown, which is Prashant Kishore. He's drawing crowds, particularly young people. They say they like his messaging. But is Bihar ready for a caste-agnostic sort of politics? Will he just, flatter to deceive, as it were? I believe Nitish Kumar has just come out. All right, Payal, I believe, is there where at the voting booth where Nitish Kumar will be voting. So, yeah, Payal, go ahead, take it away.
Well, Nitish Kumar is expected to reach around 10 a.m. in the morning, but the preparations are certainly in place. You can see the security being beefed up as well. But there is a queue that is really over here as well. And we'll have to just try and get hold of some people and speak to them, especially the fact we'll have to just wait here, Zaka, because, we can't go any further as well. But 10 o'clock in the morning, the security is here, the protocol department is here. Everybody is waiting for Nitish Kumar to come, and it's going to be a very crucial election for his party, for him, and a very crucial vote for him as well, because he obviously, is been the face of development. A lot of women queuing up at this booth as well. You can see the old, the young, all of them really come up and, cast their vote. And this is the beauty of our democracy. This is actually the festival of democracy that we actually see in this country, where people take each and every ballot very, very seriously as well. I'm going to connect with you in some time from now when Nitish Kumar is just here, Zaka.
All right. Thanks for that, Payal. I keep coming back to this whole SIR exercise, vote chori, voter adhikar yatra. At that time, at least drawing by the crowds that Rahul Gandhi was drawing, it was like, oh, he's arrived and he's creating, a big splash there in Bihar. But then he didn't go to campaign. I think he didn't go to campaign for a good, 15, 20 days after the dates were, So there was basically 2 months, in the
September
interim.
1st
and then he went at the end of October.
Yeah, there's a statistic actually that Rahul, Priyanka and Kharge, the total number of rallies they have done, PM has done the same number of rallies alone. That speaks of the campaign, how Rahul Gandhi just did these 2 joint rallies with Tejashwi, and then, he did his few other rallies where he also spoke of SIR again and vote chori, which obviously is not getting any any traction on the ground. But I think, Zaka, the big issue, I think this election will be determined by the women of Bihar. There is multiple issues in that. Number one, of course, the tied to the women vote is the Jungle Raj issue as well. Women in Bihar really fear that if RJD comes back, the pre-Lalu era is going to come back, and that is one reason that for the last 4 elections, they have voted for Nitish Kumar, and that remains. What is adding to that? I think this time even more solidifying the woman vote, besides this Jungle Raj factor and the prohibition, which of course a big gift of Nitish, is this rupees 10,000 scheme. You travel in Bihar, you find women have actually got the money. And Nitish Kumar did the smart thing, I believe, because Tejashwi was the first one to announce that they'll give rupees 2,500 per month to women if they come to power. Nitish gave 10,000 in one go. So, women have actually got the amount. That has forced Tejashwi to now say that on Makar Sankranti in January, I will give rupees 30,000 in one go, the 2,500 rupees of the whole year.
They've already bought livestock, chickens,
yes, they bought.
whatever they want to do. Like,
I think the woman vote,
the woman
is a big factor in this election. I think Nitish Kumar has managed to solidify his vote bank. And
but Rashid was making that point that this is akin to voter bribery. This is what it is. I mean, if this whole thing is about, wasn't that the point you were making, Rashid, that this is like bribing the voter?
Absolutely. This is auctioning of votes and vote going to the highest bidder kind of thing.
Auctioning the vote. Is that how the women of Bihar see it?
Yes, but then the Election Commission should step in and say it, because the only thing that the Election Commission has done with regard to freebies is to ask political parties that make these promises to also give out the financial wherewithal. How are you going to be...
But don't people also know,
it
for
is a
example,
fundamentally bad thing, especially for state finances. Most states are going to really be in a very, very bad situation.
When Tejaswi Yadav promises one government job in every household, we're looking at 2.5 to 3 crore government jobs in a state which has 25, 26
That
lakhs
can't
government
happen.
jobs. Don't people also know that this is not going to happen? They do. But yet they vote on that very same issue.
See, I think
Some do.
No, so again, I'm coming back to that point. Why? Either the people are saying, I'm so poor and deprived, whatever I get, that itself is good enough for me.
See.
Or they're saying like...
See, we talk about the Indian state and cradle to the grave and all sorts of things, but actually what people get from the Indian state in return for their direct and indirect taxes is actually very little. So the people feel that whatever we are getting, let's just get it.
Oh, is it as Rahul keeps saying, you know,
If these
the
guys
famous
are giving
phrase...
us in lieu of votes, we are okay.
The famous phrase in India is "My Baap Sarkar." You're still, it's still a patronage state. I mean, that's what you've been saying for a very long time.
In 2001, I wrote an editorial trying to explain how is it that the DMK that had given out so much basically lost to AIDMK. And my editor called it the Westminster model, the headline for the editorial. And basically, it was just about who could promise, who could give more from the exchequer to the voter.
And the voter also feels that it's his due.
It's his due.
But it's a jobs thing also, Zaka. I think jobs has the
Short
most
termism
relevance,
is a
bigger
problem.
relevance in Bihar, because unemployment is a serious problem. That this is the state sending the highest number of migrants to other states for jobs. So, you know, when I traveled to the ground at this time, I saw at every press conference, you know, besides the traditional media, there are at least 100 YouTubers. You know, these are young men and women who have not found a job in Bihar, who have taken to YouTube and news to create their own revenue stream. It speaks of the system. And, you know, jobs, I think, when Tejaswi Yadav says, I will give 3 crore jobs, government jobs, people feel that 3 crore नहीं देगा, 1 crore तो देगा ना, शायद मुझे मिल जाए. And mind it, we all said it is unfeasible. But BJP was forced to follow Tejaswi Yadav and say in their manifesto that we will give 1 crore jobs after ridiculing Tejaswi Yadav for his 3 crore jobs promise. So I think both the parties realize that jobs is a huge issue. Unemployment is a huge issue. You will go to Patna and go to, you know, Fraser Road, and you will find these coaching centers all over that place. People are trying to get into UPSC, people are trying to get into competitive exam because there is simply no government job available.
So, but tell me, Aman, so why is that not held as the failure of the incumbent? I mean, the incumbent has been there for 2 decades. The incumbent has to be held accountable for why they have not created jobs.
It is held against him. It is. And when you speak to the young people who, the Prashant Kishore and both Tejaswi Yadav are trying to quote in this election, they are, even today, Tejaswi Yadav has tweeted, Gen Z, please go and vote. He is trying to tell, and he successfully, I think, managed to convince the young voter of Bihar that there is no future for you in Bihar unless we come to power, bring industry, bring jobs here, because Nitish Kumar has failed to give those jobs, and that is a fact on the ground. The job situation is not developed in a way it should have over the last 20 years, but there are other issues because there's no industry there. You know, how do you create jobs? Either you give government jobs or you get private industry to come set up shop and
security, then comes industry.
Yeah, so it's all interlinked. There is no industry in Bihar. You know, now NDA is speaking about setting up a semiconductor plant in Bihar. Good luck, you know, if that happens. But first you have to bring the heavyweights, the Tatas and the, you know, other big industry houses to Bihar and come set up shop there. That has happened in UP. For example, Yogi has managed to do that, but Nitish Kumar somehow was not able to do that.
Mr.
I agree with a lot of what Aban is saying, but the point is that this all comes down to the question of alternatives. You know, what is it that you want? I mean, when Tejaswi Yadav talks about bringing in industry and says, I admire Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin because he can go out and, you know,
even campaign there.
get investment into his own state, etc. I mean, if you compare Bihar and Tamil Nadu, there is a huge history of, you know, industrialization and encouragement despite the freebie politics that has taken place in that state.
Yeah.
And in Bihar, you know, if you talk about what happened during Lalu Prasad Yadav's regime or his wife's regime, you know, you have all these stories about, you know, law and order issues, people being picked up for rangdari or, you know, extortion. And I remember a very senior railway official who I used to meet with when Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav became railway minister in 2004. He went to welcome him into his new office, and he said, oh, you were the one who got kidnapped once and I got you released, because this guy used to be in Eastern Railway, and it was that kind of a situation. Doctors used to get kidnapped in Patna. Anybody doing even this bit of business would get kidnapped. So there's always that comparison, and people say, all right, you are talking the right things, but can you deliver? Can you? Is the situation?
So it boils down to
is the social coalition that is backing you? Will it allow it to happen?
So it boils down to Tejasvi Yadav is not able to shake off this legacy of
He
his
needs
father
to.
or his mother.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
Yes.
He
Right?
hasn't put Lalu Prasad's picture on any of his posters. If you go to the RJD office in Patna, it is a strange sight, and Pallavi did that story about that you can't find a Lalu Prasad picture in the RJD office anymore, any poster. So he's definitely tried to keep Lalu Prasad out of the posters, because he
But
thinks the moment you put him there...
On whose money does he finance these elections?
Yeah, obviously, we all know that,
If
but...
you have some votes, somebody will finance it for you.
Tushar, so